Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm excited to do a really short get ready with me video. I'm just going to play around with some of my new Cosmetics makeup. So I covered it in my last video, but this is the Divine Skies eyeshadow palette in Magic Hour. It's their Magic Hour collection. So there's this one, and Heaven's Glow, the Radiant Veil, and the Lip Cushion, Tinted Lip Luminizer, and these are all in the Magic Hour color. So those are the three products I will be mostly playing with, and I'm going to do a full face of makeup with just these three for color, and do a little bit of primer with my normal products. So let's get started. So I have some sunblock on my face and moisturizer, so just skincare. And I'm going to start with a little bit of skin. So I'm going to use this Prime Time from Bare Minerals, and I really like this product because it has SPF 30 and it gives a little bit of coverage, as you'll see, and it's a primer. So I really like this product. So let's get started with this one. There's a little bit, the tap here, or the cap here, it's a little bit finicky. So sometimes it's a little bit hard to get the product out, as you'll see. Oh, actually, it worked really well today. Sometimes I have to open up the bottle, and I'm just going to put it on my under eye area, just for a little bit of coverage. I have pretty bad dark circles. As you can see, they're a little bit puffy, so I'm very I like to be very minimalist, so a lot of times I will just use my fingers and blend it out, so I don't do much. And you can kind of see it gives a little bit of color coverage here compared to this side, and it does oxidize, so it kind of goes nicely, on my skin. So I'll give a little bit of coverage there. Let me do the other side as well. So I'm just trying to cover up, some of my dark circles here. And yeah, the formula is very velvety, and it just blends out very well, and I can just do this with my fingers. So I really like this formula, and I've been using it for a while. This is one of my Holy Grail products, and it's coming out really nicely today, so I'm happy about that. I'm just going to put this a little bit on my forehead to give me a little more sun protection. It's not mixing well with my mineral sunscreen, so maybe I shouldn't have done that, but it does bring a little bit of color back into my forehead. Okay, let me just mix that out a little bit. I guess I need a little more coverage, maybe around the nose area. I'm a little bit red here, so I'll do that. But other than that, I'm not going to do anything else with my my skin. I think it's generally been doing pretty well recently, and unless you're up close, you're not going to see too many blemishes. So I think I just want to cover up my dark circles and a little bit around the nose. It's a little red. So I'll do that. There's a little bit of redness here. Okay. So okay, great. So that's pretty much it. And then I'll set a little bit of a base around my eyes, and I will be using another Bare is the Bare Minerals Prime Time Eyelid primer, and I know it's not a very popular primer, but this one works really, really well with my eyes. I have extremely sensitive and oily eyes, so a lot of my eye products tend to run super easy, or they will irritate my eyes. So a lot of the popular eye primers actually irritate my eyes quite a bit. And this one I just use the tiniest amount. This is a new one, so I may have to squeeze a little bit. So I just use the tiniest amount, and it does stay all day. So I could maybe even use this for both my eyes. But I use like very small amounts, and it works really well, and it doesn't irritate my eyes or anything. And I just put this very close to my lash lines, and it's almost like a primer for my eyelashes as well. So I noticed that it also tends to make my mascara stay a little bit longer as well. So that is kind of what I do. And I also will just use my finger and the warmth from my finger to just blend out, the primer and any other skin products really. I don't really use like the beauty blender or anything. I don't know. I don't think it makes a huge difference. Like obviously it applies nicer with the tool, but I just think it's fine with my fingers, and most of the time I just don't have the time, or I just think it's a hassle to bring in like another product. So yeah, as you can see, I use very little, and I think this side is almost a little bit dried out, so I'm gonna have to warm that a little bit up a little bit more, just to kind of bring that back in. Okay, so that's the mineral primer. I'll just blend that in easily. I'm going to be very gentle around the eye area because that is a very delicate area around for skin, so there's very delicate skin there. So I think that should be primed. I don't think there's anything else that really needs to be done, so my eyes are all primed now. Next, I'm gonna do my eyebrows, and actually I might do some concealer because my dark circles are pretty bad. So I'll do that now. So I use the Bobbi Brown. You can see it's kind of old and faded. This is their Intensive Skin Serum Concealer. In number 3, it's the Warm Ivory. And I really like this because not only is it a concealer, I'm just going to warm it up a little bit, it's also a serum, so it has skin benefits, and I like the way that this one will just kind of sink into my skin. I just use such a tiny little amount to just perk up the under eye a little bit. And I think a little bit does go a long way. You see how nicely that spreads out, and I just put it down more to where I bring the color down to kind of like the triangle under the eye. So I'll just cover that up a little bit. And yeah, you see how I just brighten up this inner corner a little bit underneath the eye compared to this eye here. So I will use this sometimes, and I feel nice about it because it's also a skincare item, so it's really multifunctional, and I just use the tiniest amount, and I just brightens up my skin a little bit more, and it sinks very nicely into the skin. So yeah, so that's how it looks like. I could add more, maybe a little bit here, because the left side seems to have a little bit more of a darker circle, but I think it would be okay for now. So let me add a little bit more, because the dark side, I just do like the tiniest dot, and I will blend that out, kind of down and out, because otherwise it gets too close to the eye and it doesn't blend in nicely with the skin. So yeah, you see how that brightened up the under eye quite a bit? Yes, I really like that. I maybe want to do another dot here too, just because that side turned out really nicely. Yeah, I always see people do tons of concealer and it just freaks me out because I always feel like I don't need that much, and it still kind of makes a difference. You see how that just covered up very nicely, and I just used like 2 dots of concealer. So I don't know if I'm not doing something wrong, but I do feel like it's enough for me. Okay, so covered up the dark circles a little bit there, and I just use my finger because I just find it a lot easier, and it works just as nice, I think, or doesn't make a huge difference. Alright, so next I'm going to do the brows. And for the brows, I like to keep things really simple. I use the Glossier Boy Brow. So this product is not, I used to draw my eyebrows all the time, but this product is just a little less maintenance, and it still adds a little bit of definition and color. So that's why I started using this one a little bit more. So this is what I use for my brows on like an everyday sort of thing. And I will just kind of brush this through, and you see it adds a little bit more color. And I do my brows kind of angled like this, and it tacks onto the brows very nicely and adds color. So I just do that, and it adds just a little bit more definition. Okay, there's a lot of product on that. I'm gonna have to brush that out. And it's very easy to use and beginner friendly, so you can use this even if you're new to makeup and just brush that through, your eyebrows, and it just tacks on to kind of your hairs and adds a little bit more definition and color. So this is kind of my go-to eyebrow product. And I just use this on a daily basis because it's so easy. So I just add a little more definition and color there. I think that looks better. This side is a little bit dark because we grabbed a lot of product. Also, it brushes out the hairs really nicely. So it's like a little brush and a little jelly. So it kind of gels your hair too. So it adds color, definition, and gel. You see how each hair is kind of brushed a little bit. You can do a little bit of a bushy look if you like, which has been really popular. Okay, so let's get started with the main event, which is the eyeshadow palette from Cosmetics, the Divine Skies eyeshadow palette. So I'm really excited to use this. It feels so luxurious. There's 6 shades in there, and I'm very excited to use this. The color story is very neutral, like everyday, really light, and it's very suitable for like kind of an everyday palette. Let me open this for you. So that's what the color palette is. It's very neutral. It's so beautiful. I've never used this before, so I'm so excited to use this. And I watched a couple of different YouTube videos for ideas. So I think I will use, so there's 3 mats here. There's 1, 2, 3. This is like a darker, and they're all a little pink. So I tend to go for very neutral browns like this, like a little darker and lighter in this shade. So the pink is kind of like scaring me a little bit in the sense that I don't know how it'll look. So we'll see. So I'm going to start out with this because that's generally what I've seen is other people use this first. And then I might, debating if I should do an all matte color, which I'm seeing like this kind of thing, or I've seen a lot of people use this color on the inner or like the mid of the eye to bring a little bit of a pop. So we could do that as well. Honestly, I guess there's a lot of colors you can play with. This one is very pink, so I think to make it less pinky and red overall, I will not use this one, but I can see all of these working well together. Actually, I just saw this one with this one is definitely a good inner corner, so we'll do that. Okay, so let's get started. I think I'm going to go in and pick up this color for my crease. It's going to make everything a little bit pinker than what I'm usually used to. Okay, so for example, this is like kind of my go-to palette from MAC, and you see it's not pink at all. It doesn't have any red undertones, and that's kind of what I'm comfortable working with. But I'm excited to try this palette because I've seen, such good reviews, and it looks so gorgeous. Alright, so I will go in with this color here, and it's called Magic Hour, so it is the name of the palette. I'm just going to clean my brush a little bit with this color switch from Sephora. So I'm going to use the Anastasia blending brush that comes in the palettes. I really like this one because it's just a simple brush. Just going to clean that a little bit. And I will probably be using this throughout the video just to switch out my brushes. So on this end is like a lid brush, and this one is a blending brush for the eyes. And I love this brush because I can just travel with it. Okay, so I'm going to go and pick up some of this. Just using it. Ooh, and it picks up really nicely. There's a little bit of dust. Just going to dust that off. I'm going to put it, I think, in the eye crease here. Oh, it's very pigmented. Okay. It's very red. So I'm a little bit scared of it. I think this is going to be like a pinky sort of like look. Okay, so I get a lot nicer in my left eye, and then the right eye I think is a little bit like not blended out, so I'm going to blend it out a little bit more. Okay, so that's a nice wash of color. I think I will blend it out a little bit here and just make it more blended with the rest of my eye. Also, it is blending out very nicely on the left eye. It's a little bit of fallout from my eyelash holding the brush, so yeah, the left side is looking very nice. The right side, I think I just picked up a lot of pigment, so I'm gonna have to blend that out. I like the left side wash of color. It's not too much, and it's very subtle, and it just like blends in very nicely, so that's good. I think this is looking nicer. It's a little bit more brown on the skin than I think in the pan, so okay, I like that. I like how that looks. it's like kind of bringing out the color in my eyes, which I really like. Great. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in. I was debating between this one or this one, but I actually really like this like pinky sheen here. And I think it'll match nicely with this color, the match palette we just used, which is really pink and pretty actually. I could add a little more color here to match the right side, but that's fine. I think it's okay. No, I don't know how this side turned out like much nicer than this side. I think I was just a little less powder on this side. So I think I'm gonna pack my eyelid with this pink here because it's turning out really pretty. So I'm gonna use this and just use this eyelid side of the brush, and this color is called Sunset, and it's a nice shimmery pink color. So far they're very pigmented, so I don't need a lot, which I think happened here. So I'm just going to place this all over my eyelid. Oh, that's really nice and soft and natural shimmer. It looks almost gold. Oh, I love that. It just like makes my eyes pop a little bit more. Very natural, so good. Very good for every day. I love that like soft, natural shimmer. And I didn't even blend this, and it just looks seamless. Very nice. Yeah, this makes a very good everyday color. It's just so subtle, but nice. Let's do this one. Just gonna pack this on. I think you can get an even nicer shine if you wanted to do like something. Yeah, I like how that turned out so easy. I'm gonna make sure I clean this brush a little bit more, just so there's no like other colors in prior. What happened here? That blurred out. Okay. Yeah, I'm loving how that is bringing out my brown eyes. You see, it just like makes it pop a little bit more. So I wasn't expecting that, which I love. I just love anything that really like brightens my eyes, which is kind of an everyday look that I go for. So this palette is definitely doing it for me. Just gonna pack that like close to the eyelash and blend this side out a little bit more. But yeah, I'm almost not needing to blend it because there's a lot of fallout from this brush. Colors work so well together. Feels like she really, like thought about how the colors will play with each other. Yeah, I'm loving how that looks. So I think the last thing I'm gonna do, okay, I think I will do a little bit of an inner eye with this color here called Heavenly. So it's the lightest shade, and it'll be great for like an inner corner pop. I'm just gonna add that here. Oh, that's beautiful. You see how it just looks so seamless on my skin. Like it doesn't stand out. It looks like part of your skin. I love how that sits on the skin just really nicely. And I don't even really feel like I need to blend it out that much. Maybe a little bit here. Yeah, I love that pop. Oh yeah, this is a very light and neutral, like everyday palette you can just grab. It's not as scary as I thought. I thought it was too pink and it would, just look kind of weird for every day, but it's actually turning out very nicely. It's very natural and glowing. And I think the pink is making my eyes pop more than like a brown would. Just gonna clean that up a little bit here. Let's see, just a little bit more here. Yeah, great. I think that looks good. And let me see how it just brightens up my inner corner a little bit more. I think because we're doing a video, I will use one more color from the outer corner. So I used 4 out of the 6 colors. They're so versatile. And what I'm seeing is this color here called Serum. It's a little bit. So these are kind of the darker colors in the palette. And I think this one, if you want to do a smoky eye, you can go for like a darker color. And this one to me is more of a daytime smoky eye. And it fits really well with some of the pinks here. So it's like a red, dark brown. I'm just going to pop a little bit of that into the outer crease. So just a little. And these powders, I want to feel them. I'm just going to, oh my gosh, that feels so light. And just let me see, right here. Just gonna add that tiniest pop. Just darken it up a little bit more. And I'm gonna go in with this brush here. These are like pigmented, but not so pigmented that they're hard to work with. I think these are very easy to work with. Okay, I might have put a little bit too much. I'm gonna have to blend that. Just gonna do that on the outer corner. So yeah, I might just add more now. It's like a little bit lighter. And I'm just gonna have to blend until it looks, like, okay. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good as well. Yeah, I think these are like pigmented, but they feel very silky and natural. Like it doesn't sit on top of the skin. I don't know how to explain it. It like kind of just melts into the skin and looks like part of the skin. So yeah, loving that. And I'm just gonna flick that up a little bit. I wonder if I'm just gonna maybe press on here a little bit, this side. I'm gonna just feel that and maybe put a little bit here. Just apply. See, I don't even need to blend it. It just melts onto the skin, which I really love. I feel like I can almost do an eye with just my fingers, which is really crazy because it's a powder formula. It almost, feels like a cream formula. So yeah, I love that. I think we're all done with the eyes here. I love the way it sits on the skin and just comes off really like part of the skin, and I barely needed to blend it. So these are amazing. I really like these, and you can kind of see the color of my eyes a lot better. And the pink is not as scary as I thought. I think it is very good for every day. I did darken it up with this color here to show you guys, but you can just stay within this range, and it's very light everyday look, and it's gonna be beautiful. So I'm really liking that. Great, so that is the eyeshadow. I'm just gonna add a little bit of eyeliner, and the eyeliner that I use is also one of my holy grails, and it is this ink liner from Kat Von D. So people like the tattoo liner, but I like this ink liner, which the difference is the tattoo liner is a brush liner, but this is a felt tip liner. And I like this one because the brush one tends to make my eyes run, and so it runs on my eyes, but the felt tip one, it stays. So like I said, I have very sensitive and oily eyes, and it's been really hard to find like a liner that doesn't run for me without any primer, and this is pretty much the only one, so this is the one that I use. Okay, so this is in Trooper Black, the ink liner. I'm just going to do a little bit of a cat of it. I like to start in the middle, like very close to my eyelash. And just want to make it flick up in the direction. Of your eyebrows. So like connecting that to the end. And you're just gonna go in. Yeah. Connect that. Just add a little bit more definition to the eye. And that looks really nice with the eyeliner. Just let that dry a little bit. I'll also do the other side. So start in the middle. Just pull it out to the and just flick it like the tiniest amount. You need to blink. I like to do a thin eyeliner, very close to my eyelid, or my lash line. So, that's my eyeliner. I'm just gonna let it dry. While that's happening, we're gonna move on to blush. I'm very excited about this blush. It's in the same color as the Magic Hour. So this is the Magic Hour collection, and it all just matches in color. I love how this eye turned out. It does remind me of like Magic Hour, around sunset, where the sky's gold and pink and red, and it's just beautiful. So very golden, beautiful color. So I love that. So here is the blush. I love the packaging on this. And this is what it looks like. There's a magnetic clasp here. It's a beautiful golden peachy color. Let me see if I can flip this around for you guys. So look at that color. It's matching. I can see it matching well. It's very peachy and golden. Well, my eyes already. So let's try it out. I'm going to use this Sigma Large Angled Contour in F40. This is a blush brush. And you can see I've used it prior, but I'm going to clean it a little bit with this brush cleaner. Just going to clean that. And I like this brush because I can use kind of this part for blush, and then I'll use this part, this side, to highlight. So I'm just gonna clean that. And the way I like to do my blush is basically all along, kind of like this side to do a little bit of a contour. Yeah, I'm very excited about this blush. It looks so gorgeous, and it opens just like a natural sheen of color. So let's try that together. Just gonna take it and dab it. I'm gonna feel this. Ooh, that there. Oh, it's like barely in color. Oh, I see. There it is. Okay, so I want to do more on that. Yeah, so that's a very natural sheen. You see how there's added some color there? It's almost like a bronzy color to me for some reason. Like it's not as pink, but it's coming off very natural. I'm gonna add a little more color. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's very gold. It's like more gold than blush. I feel like it's more golden. Or that's at least how it looks like here on the camera. So, and yeah, no. My sunblock is very white casty. I need to blend that in more. But sunblock is very important. I think that's like matching the eyeshadows really well in the way that it's a golden sheen. It looks very natural. It's definitely different than how I thought it would look. I thought it was going to be very peachy, but I guess it is peachy on me, but it looks kind of like bronzy almost. Just gonna blend it out a little bit more. Yeah, I think they just added a little bit more of like a natural color, and I think it looks good. I'm not sure it's like my favorite blush, but I think I definitely like kind of the shine from the eyeshadow, but it's definitely matching. Yeah, I think it's a nice blush. Right. What do you guys think? I don't know why it's like showing up. It's not as pink as I think I'd want it. I think that's what it is. But it's a very nice golden glow. So I'm excited to add that to my collection because I don't think I have that. So that's a nice blush color. Alright, so there's that. And finally, I'm just gonna do the lips as a finishing touch. And again, we'll be using the Magic collection, the Magic Hour collection from M Cosmetics. And I've already used this one, so it's not the first time I'm trying it out like the other two. But this formula is really nice because it sits kind of like a balm. And the thing about this color collection is that it's so unique. It's not like a matte brown, and it's not an exact pink. So it's hard for me to like describe what this color is. Like, is it gold and peachy? I don't know. It's the same thing with my lips. I don't even know like what this color really is. But so this one, apparently you can't like move the lips down. You can only move it up. So if you're ready to use it, then like move up with it. If not, then don't. But also, the balm is very melty. It's very nice on the lips, but it can get kind of messy. So you see here, it's a little bit of a mess, and some of it actually fell off the first time I used it. and it's still a great product, but I think just be careful when you start using it. It's a little bit different, so I think I should come with fair warning. So, but I love this lip product. It feels so good on the lips, and the color is great. As you'll see, look how that just glossed things right up with a little bit of color, and it looks so natural. Just clean the product. It's so beautiful, and it feels very moisturizing. This lip product is money. It's very nice. It's just a little messy, right? Like even as I'm using it, which I'm not OCD, but you can't make it go down. But look how beautiful that color is. It's so natural and glossy, and it feels good on the lips. So definitely one of my favorite lip products, and I'm going to be reaching for this quite a bit. And it's like a nice everyday color, but I really don't know how to describe this color because it's not nude and it's not peach, right? Like it is a little peachy and it's a little pink too. So it's just like such an interesting color, and I don't know how to describe it, but this is pretty much the full look. It's a very glowy, flushed look. You know what? I'm gonna add a little bit of blush, like across my nose, because I feel like that would look really nice and would make me look really flushed. So I'm just gonna add just a little bit here. Yeah. And that just gave me like the nicest flush. Just to make me look a little more unkissed. But yeah, that's pretty much the full look. I think, yeah, I really enjoyed using all the products. I'm very pleasantly surprised with the eyeshadow palette. It's beautiful. I think I'll be reaching for it quite a bit. It's a really good everyday look, and it turned out a lot nicer than I thought. And it just really brought out my eyes a lot more, I feel like. So I really liked this whole collection. If you guys are getting it, the blush is probably my least favorite because I feel like, well, actually it kind of changed like the color, so it's still a pretty good blush. I think it's just not as like extraordinary as the lip and the eyeshadow, and the lip is amazing. It's moisturizing and glossy, and the color is just indescribable. So yeah, overall I'm very happy with this whole collection. I think I'll be reaching for a lot. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the final look, and let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thanks for watching.